Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we're back in the studio again with another great episode for you. And you already know who I got with me, the ultimate, the living legend, the man himself, Mr.
Drip.
The echo.
What's good with you, brother?
Nah, I'm all good, man. How about yourself?
Just chilling.
Yes,
Just
sir.
waiting for this day to be over of responsibility so I can just relax.
Yes, no, that's how I feel. I played my day backwards, bro. I should have woke up and did some stuff, and I went straight to no responsibility, and was almost late up here today. It was actually late, you know. Everybody beat me here today, but it happens, man. It happens.
At least we're still doing it now.
Right, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special episode coming for you today, and we're actually taking it back. Bringing this guest back on because last time she was here, her cat had kittens. She couldn't be with us. So, yes, bring it to the microphone, Miss RaeAnna. Ray, how we doing today?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Oh, I was doing good. We're so glad to have you back here today. Finally get to get your episode going. So we really appreciate you rescheduling with us and coming back for it.
Yeah, thanks for having me back after the catastrophe.
Catastrophe, right.
Catastrophe.
Puns.
Exactly. So, how did that go? All the cats all good and everything?
Yeah, they're all good. She ended up having 4 kitties, 3 boys, 1 girl, 2 gingers, a black and white, and a calico. So They're doing good. Their eyes are open. They're running around. They're taking over in my house. But they're so cute, and we've got to keep them for about a month longer with the mom, and then they go to their forever homes.
Oh, okay. Do you already have forever homes for them scheduled and everything, or picked out?
Yeah.
Yes, they all do?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was going to make them shout out, see if anybody wanted to get a cat. For real. Not.
I mean, everyone said they want. I know at least 2 for sure. Mm-hmm. One is somebody that works here, and we don't know how his partner is going to feel about the cat.
Oh, wow.
But so at least 2 have homes for sure, and I want to keep one of them. So We'll see.
Okay.
You're going to keep
the black and white one.
Black and white one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the calico.
Nobody's claimed him, and he's actually the firstborn, so he's the one that my boys helped essentially be born.
Right.
He's also like the runt, so he's the smallest.
Oh. Okay.
And nobody's claimed him, so I'm like, oh, I have to keep him.
Right, you gotta protect.
I've been calling him Tupac. I don't know why.
Tupac. Wow.
So the 2 orange cats, they look very similar, but one's slightly, like, he's real big. Like, he's fat and fluffy, so I was calling him Biggie. So then I call the black and white one Tupac.
Oh, wow.
And then the other orange one, I was calling Dre. And then the calico, the girl, I was calling Aaliyah.
Oh, wow.
I like that. I like that
Yeah. But that's not their real names.
I mean, shoot, as of right now, it's their real names until their home decide to change it.
Yeah. So my sister-in-laws they want the 2 orange brothers. One is going to be named Zeppelin, and the other one is Marshall.
I like Marshall.
That's like Zeppelin. Isn't that like the
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I thought that was a big name right there.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I'm glad that I was able to get taken care of and out the way and handled, and they're all doing good.
Yeah.
You know, I know we have one of your sons in the room with us today. How was that experience for you, bro? You enjoyed it? Yes, great.
Was it fun?
Yes, as long as everything is okay, you guys are safe, and we're able to actually get the episode going still.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad we still came back to it and circled back around to it.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
I'm ready.
So I think today's will be a great topic. Today's topic is podcasting.
Woo, my favorite.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now, you know?
Case in point.
Yes. I know, Ray, you actually have a podcast out there, Highly Healing.
Yes.
And you also have 3 more out there, like two more previous podcasts.
Yes.
My apologies.
That's correct.
Yes, and I actually did do an episode on your podcast not too long ago.
Yeah.
So, yes, you guys make sure to check out the Highly Healing podcast and hear what I had to say. I did shout out to Just Keep Swimming podcast, of course. But, yeah, I just want to talk about what it is to be a podcaster.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So,
Talking about that?
so let's go ahead and start off with the ultimate question of what even got you into podcasting? Like, why are you doing a podcast?
Yeah. So I very first ever started listening to podcasts when I lived in Reno, probably in like 2014. So a coworker of mine had told me about podcasting. I never knew what it was.
Right.
And my very first podcast I ever listened to was called Stuff You Should Know.
Mm-hmm.
and we found it on Apple Podcasts, and they just talk about like random stuff you should know, like why is the sun like 1 billion degrees, like just so many different topics. And I listened to it when I was getting ready for work. And then the lady that did like my esthetician, she was really into true crime, and she told me about this podcast called My Favorite Murder.
Oh wow.
And so it's like these two ladies, they're one of them is a comedian, Karen in Georgia. I freaking love them. I aspire to be them one day. Like, I just love them. And I've been to their, like, they do live podcasts. They've come to Vegas a few times. I've seen their show. But I only listened here and there. And then I just kind of stopped listening to them. I don't really know why. And then I moved back to Vegas in 2016. And I was working a desk job in a cubicle. And I was kind of lonely. And I kind of got sick of listening to music.
Right.
I feel that.
And then something really freaking tragic happened to me. It was here in Vegas. It was like a random Sunday afternoon, just minding my own business. I was married at the time, so me and my husband were just running around town doing our errands. We stopped at a 7-Eleven in a not-so-good part of town, and I just ran in to grab a Slurpee and a snack, whatever. And I was in the back of the store getting my Slurpee, and then, like, my peripheral vision, I see, like, a person. But I didn't think anything of it, you know what I mean? Like, I go to get a drink at 7-Eleven, like, all the time.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I feel a body behind me. There's this man, this 6-foot-something tall, muscular black man in just shorts and slides. And he's pushing his entire body and pinning me between his body and the counter. And I whipped around and I was like, get your fucking hands off of me. And he was like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And he's like shoving me in my shoulder. I grabbed my wallet, I grabbed my keys, I grabbed my Slurpees. And I'm like making my way to the checkout, right? Well, he didn't like that I told him off, that I didn't want anything to do with him. Like, he just didn't like my response. Next thing I know, he's grabbing me by my hair. Like, I had my hair up in a bun, and he's grabbing me by my hair. He pulls me down. He pushes me down. I get back up, and he's, like, yelling at me. And this is just, like, all happening so fast. There's people in the store. Nobody's doing anything. There's only one cashier working, and I can see her, like, on the phone. And he starts yelling at me. The last thing he does is he spits at me. Spit lands all over my shirt, and he's gone.
What the fuck? What was that?
And at this point, I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
right, what just happened?
Out.
Yeah.
The lady is like, I'm calling the cops right now. They're on the phone. And I go outside, and I go to my then husband, and I was like, where did he go? Where did he go? And he's like, what's going on? And he's like, just stay in the store. Don't go over there. So I guess this guy was on, I don't know what he was on. He had to have been on drugs. Like, that's not a normal human response. Yeah. So I guess he ran across the street, did something to somebody else, according to the cops, because they found him in a park nearby. And they came back to me. I filled out a police report. My mom came down. I was all shaken up. And the cops were like, so we found him in the park. Unfortunately, when he left here after assaulting you, went across the street and assaulted someone else worse than you. We can only book him on his highest charge. Which is what he did to the other person, not you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's BS.
Yeah. And so that really messed me up bad.
Right.
Like, it gave me PTSD type. Like, I already have anxiety disorder, but that instance, like, really fucked with me.
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah.
And so I started listening back to true crime podcasts as a way of, like, healing. Because I was hearing these stories of all these tragic, terrible things that were happening, but some of them that My Favorite Murder was covering was, like, women being, like, the hero. Or men being like the hero. And it just helped me heal from that, what happened to me. And I mean, I went to therapy for it. actually got put on medication because it just really fucked with me.
Right.
And it just really helped me to kind of break down what happened to me and make it feel like, I'm not saying like, oh, it happens to everybody, but that I'm not the only one that something crazy like that has happened to. And I thank God, like, he didn't have a knife or a gun, or like it could have been so much worse. And all those thoughts go through your head. And I was sexually assaulted in the military. So I carry that with me too. And that's the first thing that your brain goes to is
flashbacks,
like, that could have happened to me again.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. My mom, like, searched the guy up. He shouldn't have even been out of prison. He was in there for, like, I don't know, I think domestic violence or something.
Oh, wow.
Somehow he was let out, and he went right back. But,
right back, of course he did.
and then I decided, you know, I've been through so much that I want to start my own podcast. And just, like, have other people, like, share their story. So I started Not Highly Healing. Anxious Antics was my first podcast.
I like the name.
Yeah, and so I was on a bunch of Facebook groups. There's so many Facebook groups subdivision out of My Favorite Murder podcast. There's one for everyone. There's called Wetterinos, like Till Death Do Us Part, Murderino Weddings, and there's one for like marijuana smoker murderinos. That's what they call their listeners, as murderinos. So
that's funny.
There was one for mental health, and I just put in there like, hey, like, I'm a big fan of the podcast. I started my own. This is what it's about. If anyone has a story, like, reach out. And I had so many people reaching out to me, and so I started in recording the show and producing my own episodes. At that time, I was paying somebody to make me a song, like a theme song, and edit all my stuff.
All the shows and stuff, yeah.
And I was paying him to do that for me. It just got really expensive really fast.
Right.
And ultimately, a lot of things in my life just happened throughout the time I was doing that show. I wasn't organized. I really had no fucking idea what I was doing. Like, I was literally just like YouTubing stuff, talking to other people, but there's more that I could have done. I just didn't know really
aware of it.
what I was doing. Yeah. So Anxious Antics kind of died out, and I made like a final episode after I left my husband, just saying like I wanted to take a different turn for the show because I felt like I only had the female perspective, and I wanted to broaden my demographic to be more inclusive. Right. And then I just never went back to that podcast.
Understandable. Yeah. Truly understood.
Yeah.
That's a big lesson to learn from everything.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think that's pretty cool though. You know, like one, you survive your experiences. I'm so happy to see that, and definitely the way your character is. You know, every time I see you, you have a smile on your face. And with the story you just shared, it's like low-key blew my mind. Cause I was like, wow, I would never had imagined this person would do something like that. You know, so you know that sucked, but it made you stronger for sure. And I'm glad it didn't take your spirit away. So I think that's the main thing.
Really tried.
Yeah.
It really. I'm gonna get emotional.
I understand. I feel it.
It really did for a while there. Like, I couldn't go out into public by myself. I just remember being in a grocery store and I had to get like a money order or something from the bank. You know how the bank's inside Smith's?
Yeah, like the U.S. bank in there and stuff.
Yeah, and like, I feel bad saying this, but it's the truth because of the race of the person that attacked me. In my brain, whenever I saw someone that fit that profile, tall black man, my fight or flight kicked in.
Right.
And I just remember seeing somebody that was similar looking like that in the line at the bank, and I'm texting my husband like, you need to come in here. Like, this is going to happen to me again. Like,
because you're having like a panic attack.
Yeah, like full-blown panicking kind of thing. And it took me a while to not necessarily compartmentalize that, but separate, okay, that was a super rare occurrence.
Right.
Like, it's probably never going to happen to your life again. It's, you know?
Right.
And just breaking down that that trauma response to it.
Yeah.
And it took me years. Like, I have been on literally since the day I left my ex, I've been on a spiritual healing, mental healing, physical healing journey. And I made the decision to leave him New Year's Eve 2018 into 2019.
That's a big decision to make after all of that. I can't imagine how tough that was.
Yes, I can't either. So then, I'm guessing podcasting really helped you get your emotions out of it, or?
Yeah, because I started a second podcast after I left him. Me and my best friend made a podcast called Wasted Wednesdays.
Okay, that's always fun.
And it was totally different of what I was doing with Anxious Antics. It was more like fun. Like, me and her would just get together. We'd smoke a blunt. We'd eat gummies. She went to Mexico, brought back this really nice tequila. We would drink it, and we would just talk about life.
Yeah.
And it was just like having fun. And I really liked it, but our schedules just got crazy. I had no equipment because in my divorce, like, I lost everything. I had to sell my MacBook to make rent. I had I lost everything. So we were literally just recording off my phone.
Which is good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. You know?
And it was done live. So I would record on my phone through the Anchor app. And then on her phone, I can't remember the app. It was like a live broadcast where you could tune in and listen to it as it was happening type thing, which was easy that way because I didn't have to do editing. It was just all raw anyway.
Right.
So that's just what we chose to do with that. And then life got in the way and she moved to Michigan and...
That had to die off a little bit.
Yeah.
Understandable.
So now that's where we're at with Highly Healing. I started formulating the idea for it in November of last year. And I was like, okay, you've had two experiences. Take what you learned from both. Take what you liked and didn't like from both.
Right.
And, grow something new.
Right.
And so that's where I'm at right now with Highly Healing. It launched in March of 2020. We've got 8 episodes out right now.
Okay.
And I can actually see the demographic of who listens. And I'm almost even with male and female. Female is slightly higher.
Yeah.
But, I did it. I have both. I have a bigger demographic.
Right. That's good. Yeah, no, and that's what it is. You took your trial and errors and you made it work for you in advantage, you know? So I think that's beautiful right there.
One thing I just kind of wanted to share in light of your story, too. It was actually today at church, and we was just talking about being damaged. And just because I'm damaged does not mean I'm broken.
Right.
But in order to, grow and everything, they made this metaphor as of, what's the highest value? What form of grape holds the highest value? Wine. But you have to crush it, you have to let it ferment, it has to be damaged in order to reach this very valuable substance that people value.
Right.
So it's don't try to avoid taking to heart all of the hardships that you've gone through. Right. And just let it go and grow from it, because that's going to make a very valuable product at the end of the day, because you went through these experiences, because you reflected upon it, but because you took things from it to enhance your life, so you can just be a more authentic human being. Just embrace that damagedness and just don't think that you're broken. Just think that you just went through things and you've come out the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I find that beautiful because Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, one of the things we always say is what does it take to make a diamond? Time, pressure, and heat. You know what I'm saying? So time, you have to let time go. You can't force time. Pressure, things coming down on you. Heat is hot. You don't want to be there. But at the same time, when you go through all that stuff, that's when you emerge shiny. Right. You know what I'm saying? A substance that, is only found in certain parts of the world because they meet that requirement. Yeah. Right, exactly. So it's if you don't go through time, pressure, heat, you can't become a diamond. If you don't go through setbacks, you can't really excel.
You gotta get uncomfortable. If you're living a life of complacency and comfortability, you're never gonna grow.
Right.
And it sucks sometimes. It's hard and it feels weird and it feels off, but that's how we grow, is getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, no. And I feel, this podcast for sure for me has made me uncomfortable, but it has made me grow as well,
Yeah.
So like, so I guess my little example for how do we get into podcasting, so, me personally, I've been through life, of course, like everybody else, in and out of jobs, got fired, all this stuff. And I think what happened with the job that just fired me not too long ago, while I was there, something was telling me like, yo, this is going to keep happening. You have to figure out another route to get to where you want to be, And it's like, that you don't care about accounting like that. You're good at it, yes, but that's not your job, That's not my passion,
yeah.
Right? But like the things that really like always sparked me was like spirit science and John Maxwell and the personal growth stuff. And, it took me I just now realized that people don't want to hear this crap all the time. But like for me, I thrive off it, it really charges me. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to possibly share these messages with people that don't want to listen? How can I take all this stuff that I'm listening and learning and pass it back to the world, but in a more urban way than 2022 sense, And then one thing that really hit me is, I hate to say it, but Jay-Z said it the best. I had to dumb down to double my dollars. I had to dumb down for my audience to double my dollars. And it's like, if you listen to some of his more older songs, he's very deep. His words are very like lyrical juggling. But it's like, they're not catching it though. We're not catching the lyrical metaphor, so you have to dumb down a little bit so people can catch it.
Right.
And that's how I hate to say that, but I had to come to the podcast. Okay, let me take whatever lessons I'm learning from John Maxwell and figure out how I can explain it in this age.
Make it
this
digestible.
Time. Make it digestible at this time in a nice and easy way, the simplest way possible. And that's kind of why I felt that, the podcast would be good. And then, just like how we heard your story just now, I know so many people going through stuff, what I'm saying? Everybody's going through something in life that you'll never truly hear because they never truly have the stage or the platform to even get it out, So it's like, let's start to try to get these stories out because everybody's going through something, We're all truly human, Like we all have something to really go through. And that's what really made me want to do the podcast, to start to give people these stories, right now you're a prime example of what Just Keep Swimming is. You know what I'm saying? Like you really just defined Just Keep Swimming.
Yeah.
Stuff happened, things went wrong, but you know what?
I just kept swimming.
You know what I'm saying? And now you're doing good. You got a job, you got a new husband on the way, you got some kittens, your son's amazing. He hasn't sat here and flipped no tables over or nothing. So it's like everything came and turned out for you, Like you said, your spirit is amazing. I'm sure you got a better group of friends now, more support system.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love it. I love it. You just kept swimming and life started to turn around in your favor for sure to where you want it to be. So I think that's beautiful. So, on to the next question?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. So let's go ahead and go on to the next question is, why a podcast? Because, we have so many different outlets out there. We could do a YouTube channel. We can do a probably legit radio show, if you want to pay for the money for that. Yeah. You can do a freaking, like you said, a Facebook live video where you just go on Facebook Live and drop a video every such and such time.
You could do a show, like a conference or something.
We can do a lot of things, So I guess my question for you is, like, why did we choose a podcast? Why did you choose a podcast as the avenue?
So I first chose a podcast because when I made Anxious Antics, I was still healing and I was afraid. I didn't want to show my face.
Understandable.
And I was also self-conscious. Because I know a lot of podcasters do YouTube as well as like when they're recording so you could see them, which is something that I want to do now because I feel like now my presence online and social media is huge now because I've grown as a person, I've grown that confidence, and I try to be as transparent as possible when it comes to who I am, what I've been through, and what my life is like. I don't ever want anyone to look at my page and just look at my highlight reel. So I try to keep it really real with them. But essentially, I originally started because I didn't want to be seen. And then also, knowing what I know now and doing what I do now with social media content creation and things like that is you can share as much as you want.
Right.
But no, you can't make anybody click on that. And, you know, you could put it up in your stories. People could just be clicking through it, don't even have the volume on.
Right.
At least with the podcast, I can give you the link and you can listen to it. And at least for me, I can't listen to a podcast if I've got a lot of other stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I really want to listen to what it's saying. So I feel like it's the best way to get your message across if you have something really important to say for somebody that has the time to sit down and listen.
Right.
So I do my best podcast listening when I'm driving because I have no other choice but to listen.
On the road,
Sometimes I'll do it at work if I have like a slow day, but if there's a day where I've got a lot going on and I've got to like really focus on my work, I can't also listen to a podcast. So that's why I chose that platform.
That's how I feel with listening to podcasts and albums in general, because I really want to be present and give my attention to what I'm listening to.
Right.
Because otherwise I feel like I'm jipping them and then I'm feeling
not giving you full.
I'm thinking like how I feel like, when I speak, I want people to listen to me. So I want to give that same type of attention to other people's work. Right. Whether it be podcasting, music, acting, or whatever it is, you know.
Right. Now, and, you know, with Ray saying, you know, driving is the best time she listens, that's kind of like with me, too. That's the time that I listen to, like, using my audio books or some Joel Osteen or something like that in the morning. But, like, I always felt that I want to do video. You already know we want to work toward video. Yeah. But I don't want to do too much video because I'm not here to distract you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want to pass the message to you as you're still doing what you're doing. I don't want to take away your life from you and make you saying you have to sit down and watch me.
You don't want someone to be judging you based off of the way you look or the way you present yourself. Or I just feel like if you're a voice, they have no other option but to listen to it.
Exactly.
It removes the prejudice.
No, because there's plenty of times. Have you guys ever experienced where you heard somebody's voice and you see them in person, you're like,
all the time.
Oh my gosh, who is this? You know, it throws you
all the time. Whenever I listen to podcasts and they have a guest, I'm going to my Instagram or Google and I'm looking up who they are. Because I just want to know. And it's so crazy. Like, voices like hardly ever match with the face.
Ever. Yes, ever. No, I always wonder people think of me when they see me, you know. 'Cause I probably sound like GQ on the microphone. But, you know, they probably see him like, oh my gosh, why his beard so long? Or, I didn't know he was black. You know, who knows? But, you know, who knows what happens? Like, I've always wondered what happens when
Dude, you have such a good podcast voice, honestly. Like, it's so just like, it's soothing.
It guides.
And when I really just need a pick-me-up, I go to your podcast.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I really do. Because you always have a good message and your voice it'll soothe me down from like maybe I'm having a bad day or I'm in like a panicky situation and I'll just put it on and it like immediately just like whew.
Oh, I appreciate that. And that's the goal we go for, you know? Like, the Just Keep Swimming podcast, like, you're home when you're listening to this, you know? You want to feel like you're listening to a family conversation, hearing some real-life stuff, get some jokes in, a little seriousness in there, you know? But at the same time, I want to walk out feeling like, okay, I'm not alone. I connected with this person a little bit. Yes, it wasn't my exact story, but I felt where they were coming from. And I can understand it, you know?
Totally.
I hope we really do break the ice in the beginning with our little introductions. Just to, you're listening now, like, pay attention, like, be present, because I know you're having, like, some type of day.
And that's why I do this. That's why my intro, my exits are the same every time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I have no idea what time you're listening to this podcast. My cousin listens to it at 3 o'clock in the morning, right when it first drops, because he's at the airport, you know, filling up planes and stuff. That's when he listens to it first thing in the morning. I know some people, they don't listen to it till nighttime workouts, you know? So it's like, me, I listen to my own like in the afternoon, toward the end of my work day when I'm starting to lose my mind. I need to listen to something else, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so it's like, that's why I start off the way I want to, the way that it's like, welcome back home, you know? It's grandma's cookies, you know? You know she gonna treat you the same way when you walk in the house every time. You're not gonna get a, hey, what's up, baby? And then, oh, look at this nigga later. You know, like, she gonna get the same love every time. I love it. I love it. So I know you said something great there when you talked about transparency, and that actually want to lead me to today's sponsored, which is sponsored by RaeAnna from Blended Faces. Yes. You remember Blended Faces, right, Donovan?
Yes, of course.
Yes, Blended Faces. So make sure you check out Blended Faces on Instagram, BLENDED Faces, FACES. RaeAnna is a makeup artist, a male groomer, and as well as a brow specialist. She works between Los Angeles and Nevada. Los Angeles and Las Vegas, sorry about that. She's traveling, 100% licenses. If you want to book her, please make sure you check out our IG. She's doing big things. Her makeup's been sponsored on multiple shows, so please make sure you check out Blended Faces, hosted by RaeAnna. Oh.
Check it out.
Yes, check it out, please. So, and that made me think about transparency, Blended Faces, makeup. I feel that go together perfectly.
Yeah.
But
great transition.
So I want to talk about the benefits of being transparent then, and how is that pretty much helping you out personally? Because we jump into a realm where we throw out a lot of personal business out there. Definitely being a podcaster, we have to talk about ourselves a lot, or we have to share some ideas that may not be accepted by a lot of people, sometimes. And sometimes transparency can bite you back. But I just kind of want to focus on the benefits of what it is to be transparent. Like, how is that helping you out?
Yeah, so I'm also a social media influencer for a company called RaeAnna.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to my team.
Shout out RaeAnna.
We have a huge market of hemp-based products, CBD, THC, mushroom, and nootropic health and wellness products.
Okay.
And so I have to share a lot of my life with doing that, and then on the podcast. And I just look at it this way. It's like we all see the glamour shots, the influencers, the people that are on, like the celebrities, you know what I mean? We all see that. And we're all so fucking sick and tired of the airbrush and the this and the, like, we're so sick of it. Though. I just want to be real.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I am so confident in myself now that I'm myself. And if you don't like it, too bad, sorry. Like, but like, people can say whatever they want about me, but they can't say that I'm lazy, and they can't say that I'm fake. Exactly. Because I'm definitely not.
Exactly.
And I just feel like if you want to be great, you got to be willing to do things that most people wouldn't be willing to do.
Right.
It stays true to you.
Stay true to you. Yeah. Yes.
And it really just helps you live your truth.
Yes. No, and I fully agree, because I feel the same way. Like, I don't think anybody can call me fake, because I'm the same way at work as I am at home. We drop knowledge here, we drop knowledge there. I'm the same way around my family. If I have an attitude, I have an attitude with everybody, not just one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm keeping it authentic with everybody. I'm mad in general, So everybody crosses my path is going to catch a little attitude. If I'm loving with everybody. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to be my authentic self. Right. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be real with myself, because if I can't be real with myself, how can I be real with you guys?
It just deepens that connection that you can make with yourself and also the other people around you, because then there's no, it's like me lying a lot when I was younger about like grades and stuff like that, and then trying to keep track of all that shit because I'm trying to put on a facade like everything's fine.
Yeah, then you lose track of the lies you told. You always trip up on yourself.
You always trip up on yourself.
Every time.
And as soon as it happens, it just damages connections, or have whole connections fall off to begin with. So like, why not just be real from the beginning? So then, like, nobody can say anything to you.
Can't say nothing about you.
Yeah.
It's
if you don't like me, you don't like me. You don't like you don't not like the facade that I'm putting up. Yeah. You're disliking me, so I'll respect that way more than me trying to put on something and then people liking me or disliking me because of that front.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, somebody come up to me and say, "Oh, Adrian, I know you're so positive." And I'll be like, "You didn't know that?" Yeah. You don't see all the sticky notes on my wall right here. You don't hear my podcast, the title of it. Have you not listened to me talk in a while? Like, I get the same message all the time. So it's like, no, if you don't like me, you probably didn't like me from jump. And you know what? I'm still the same person. I have gotten better for myself personally. But yeah, no, that's my personality. I'm sorry, you know. But
and it's okay that everybody doesn't like you. Not everyone's going to like you.
Everybody's not made to like you.
And not everybody vibrates at your frequency, and not everybody is receptive to your energy because a multitude of different reasons.
Right.
It could be the way they were raised. It could be their culture. It could be how they're feeling that day. It could be the fucking way the moon and the stars are aligning with the planet.
Man,
it just
Mercury in retrograde.
Yeah.
And
that's okay.
You can't blame them for it because they're probably just being them as much as you're being you.
Yeah.
So just let it go.
Right, you know, prime example, sometimes we run into each other and work in the morning. I know I might see him grouch in the morning, but like, I know you've been here for 3 hours already. I just woke up and got here. You know, it's a Raven show. Hey, good morning, friend. I'll be like, good morning. Ooh, it's too early. I need 30 minutes. And then usually I'll circle around later and like, hey, what's up, Ray? Let's do this happening now.
But you know, I always greet you the same way.
Yes, and you're the same way. You're unique, and I know I'm gonna get the same from you. You know, and you know, 9 o'clock in the morning, you good morning with me. It's usually half-assed because 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm tired.
Right.
You know, I need my tea to warm up.
And I accept that, and I know that that's who you are. I don't take it personally. I'm just like,
But then you run into me 30 minutes or an hour, 2 hours later, bouncing off the walls or singing music in the office.
I see you outside taking your little walk. I'm out there smoking.
Yeah, we out there chilling, you know. And after a while, we adjust to each other because we're like, we accept each other who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to know each other at its core.
Right.
I'd be here since 7 a.m., you know. I've already had my coffee. I've already done the shit, checked my email.
My alarm clock just went off. You know? My alarm clock, I just hit snooze at 7 a.m. So I truly feel it. So, one of my bonus questions for the day is, fun question. How do you feel about your voice, hearing your voice on the podcast?
That's a real one. That's a real question.
How do you feel about hearing yourself?
Oh, God, because you got to hear yourself. I listen to my own episodes. I do. And I hear my own... I don't watch my own Facebook Lives anymore because, again, it's that, like, physical seeing yourself, and I'm going to pick apart everything I did. Oh, you look so fat. Look at your double chin in that angle.
I'm sure.
And I was told when I was younger, I don't know if you guys remember. Do you guys remember the party line?
Yes.
Where you could just call in, and there'd be so many people on there.
Yeah, you're too young. I remember the party line, yes.
I remember being, like, in middle school and on there. Should not have been on there.
I think everybody was on
or in, like, Yahoo chat rooms. And guys would be like, oh, you have such a sexy voice. And I'm just like... what does that even mean? And because your voice does sound so different to you than it does to other people.
Yes.
And I think if you can get past, like, listening to your own voice, then you can podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's also people where I can't do the voice. It's either they have really bad vocal fry, or it's just very monotone, or there's just no emphasis or enthusiasm behind it. And I can't.
Right. Yeah.
Especially with, like, what is it called?
Audible.
Audiobooks?
Audible, yes.
How they have, like, the little sample, right?
Oh,
so you can at least hear the voice actor of the book. Because if it's crap, like, no matter how good the content is in the book, like, I won't listen.
Man.
And I'm sure there's people out there who fucking can't stand my voice, but hey.
You're on my show, so.
It's cool.
Yes.
It's like having that one teacher or professor that just monotone. Today, class.
All right. Dry eye for clear eyes, or next day eyes. Yeah, I already know.
My statistics teacher was like that. I was always falling asleep in his class. I'm just like...
Bro. Man, my geology teacher, I slept in his class every day. Mind you, it was college. You know, you always had that one class, it's like 6 hours. You know, it's like 3 hours, but one time a week or whatever.
Oh, with the lab and all that shit?
Yes, exactly. So it was that class, and he didn't even talk to us. He was literally just reading PowerPoints all day. So we'll see the difference between the rocks and the fault line. And
literally stuff you could read yourself, but he feels the need to read it to you.
Because, mind you, it's the PowerPoint with all the words on it. It's not just the note. It's
like
full
the
paragraphs.
keynotes, the bullet points. No, it's the whole book.
Whole book. Yeah, it's literally just a PowerPoint. So it's like, yeah. But same question for you, bro. How do you feel about hearing your voice on the podcast? How does that feel?
Oh, I listened to me and Gerald not too long ago. I guess I've come to enjoy my voice a little bit more. Especially just looking at old, like, Snapchat videos and stuff like that from just goofy stuff.
Right.
I feel like feel like I talk, like I make myself talk at like a higher frequency so people can hear me.
Right.
But then when I listen to myself, it's like, oh, it's a lot deeper than I expected. But I mean, it's cool. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like a form of like meeting myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I love that.
Like it's just in the audio form. Like unfortunately, I can't meet myself in the physical, like how I want it to, like me and you. But it's I don't know. It kind of what's the word? Like it kind of like. I just had to my time. But it basically just separates my point of view.
You get
from
you get a
myself.
different view of yourself. I was just about to say that, like
Yeah.
you're now in third person. You're not first person anymore. You're now third person listening to you. No, and I agree because so I'm gonna keep 100. I've heard that my voice sounds good over the phone. Like I'll never forget, we were out of town. You were young. You were young. You were probably like me and Doug in middle school. So you're
barely reaching.
Yeah, exactly. Biting me for no reason still.
That's fat cat. I bit the controller.
What's
You
your
beat me
guys'
up in the
age
corner.
difference?
8 years.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, I'm
So,
32.
84.
I'm born in
24.
1990. I'm born in 1990. He's born in 98.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. So I was born in 90 and my youngest brother was born in 97.
Oh,
really?
okay.
So
Yeah.
he's 25 now, I'm
Yeah.
assuming? Yeah.
Yeah. So ironically, my younger brother and younger sister both born in 98. So they're only 3 months apart.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, really?
Yeah, you and Paris. Paris is April. You're January.
I did not know we were the same age. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Almost same days because you're the 21st, right?
I'm 20.
20th.
January 20th.
She's 24th.
24th.
Yep, 12 days after me.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So back to the story though. So yeah, I don't know. Doug was talking to some girl. And then she had a sister, of course. You know how it was back in the day. Oh, you got a brother? Let me talk to your brother. Let my sister talk. Let me see
on
how they
the
sound.
landline.
Yeah, exactly. So we on like the hotel phone making this call and stuff. And that was the first thing them girls said. Ooh, his voice sexy. Ooh, ooh. So since a young age, I always knew I had a sexy voice. But I knew that I stutter. I talk fast. I mumble. I know my speech isn't the best. You know, so when I go back and listen to myself sometimes, that's my biggest critique on myself is, I didn't pronounce that right, or what word was I trying to say? These people don't understand the word I was saying just now. Like, hopefully they got the context and can fill in the blank, but
Yeah.
I always feel that my words aren't the clearest, so that's my biggest thing. But then at the same time, I do feel what you said when you said the soothing. It's times where I listen to like a message to the listener, and I'm like, oh wow, that was really transmatic, low key.
Yeah, I think the long message to the listener that we did.
Yes.
Because after I mixed it down and everything and added the music, no, it was a really solid
Audio,
message.
right?
Yeah, no, that was great. That was great.
And I just,
cool.
the only thing that scares me is like, I hope my message didn't get lost in my stumbling or my stuttering or
No, I wouldn't even worry about
lost
it.
for words.
It's not that deep. I mean, the people that honestly listen and are like our true fans are actually supporting us.
Right.
They don't care about
don't
the
care.
message. Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe this is just my point of view, but I feel like the superficial that really nail people down on that type of stuff are missing the whole message completely, so they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
Deep.
100%.
Deep.
And it's not like we're out on a stage. I mean, yeah, it'd be fucking badass if we were all like touring like My Favorite Murder.
Right.
Or like public speakers, but we're here in this building, in this room.
Right.
I mean, we're not going to be perfect, but we go back and listen and we can work on it. Like, we're actively working on public speaking, which is something that so many people are fucking terrified to do.
Terrified of, man.
They won't talk to the class, you know? Like, you know, the kids that we would read out loud from the book, and they're like
They put their
trying
head
to figure
down.
out which paragraph they are just so they could like read it in their head. And,
But that was me though, and that's the problem.
Really?
Like I was that kid. I
like,
was
you
the one.
grew from it. Look at you.
And that's just being in. I think the fraternity life did that for me. Like the college, making me stand up in front of the stage with kids and stuff. So like it happened to build. But no, I was a kid in class. Oh shit. I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3. You're one each paragraph each. Okay, so that means I'm gonna read this paragraph. So I'm trying to read my paragraph first. What word is this? Hey, what word is this? And then I'll try to say, and of course I get to the word mess up still, and you have the assholes in the back of the crowd. Oh, it's Adrian's turn. Oh shit, he can't read. You know. So I used to hate reading. I still do hate reading, but I'm taking it as a challenge now for myself. Yeah. You know, so I love it. What's up, time? Okay. 45. Perfect. So let's go ahead and roll into our end game real bit then. Yeah. So one of my end game questions for you is what are your biggest difficulties with the podcast, with hosting a podcast in general?
Yeah. So right now I don't have equipment. I have my laptop and I record everything through the Anchor app. When you were on my show, we used my mic, and I wasn't impressed with the sound quality of it. Yeah. I don't know if it was the microphone itself or if I didn't have like that box with all the funky wires coming out of it.
Yeah, this that's my brother's. Yeah, that's them. That's them over there.
Honestly, well, in terms of the equipment, like just better quality stuff, and then like some things to filter frequency. But it's honestly just having the right environment, and then like a good medium to go through. Like I would say, if anything, is probably Ableton just receiving the stuff well, rather than there being delays, or maybe your microphone's picking up a little bit more static in the back. But it's just.
And that was your first time using it too.
Yeah, I just felt like it was quiet. Like I had to turn my volume on my phone all the way up, and then in my car all the way up. Yeah. But then again, I'm also going from my phone through my car speakers and out through Bluetooth.
Oh, right.
And then, because I use the Anchor app, so basically I can send a link to my guest. They download the app, they join the call, and my phone records everything. As long as we both have a good Wi-Fi connection, like my last episode with Matt, we had really good, like it was loud enough. His voice came across perfect. Okay. So that's hard because I don't want people judging me like, oh, well, you could hear her dog sniffing in the background, or, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But I'll get there. Yeah. And I'm trying to learn more about like editing and stuff, because Anchor allows you to do some editing within the app itself. But a lot of it, I just keep raw audio. I don't know if that just makes it more real, or maybe if it hurts my quality. But I'm open to learning more about it. Right. So that's been really hard. And then also I self-promote, and I don't have a co-host. So just keeping up with promoting myself through the social media, through word of mouth. Right. And then finding guests.
Yes.
Like, I ask anybody and everybody. Like, if they talk to me and they come to me and they're telling me something, I'll be like, hey, have you ever thought about being on a podcast?
You sound just like me.
I would love, like, you've got a story. And a lot of them are like, nah, like, I'm just nobody. Nobody cares about me. No one gives a shit what I say. And I'm like, but I do. And that's one person. Right. So imagine how many other people out there, like, want to hear what you have to say, or need to hear what you have to say.
Right. Air high five. Because you sound just like me right now. That's exactly what I do. I sit there, let me have a conversation with you for too long and hear something interesting about life coming out your mouth. Yeah. And you don't sound like you're just, cursing yourself, or you're like, oh, this dumb hoe. You're just like...
You're not negative.
You're not negative, but you sound like you're trying to come up with a solution or something. Yeah. Oh, come on the podcast, bro, because you sound like you have something. You have some type of skill or trade or anything that I feel is beneficial and you had to work through to earn. Come on the podcast. I need you to talk about your story. And I think that's the beauty of... It's a difficulty, but I think that's like the benefit I'm getting from it now. I'm starting to look at everybody differently, as in, you have a story.
What story?
You have a story. Yeah. You have a story, so that's what I'm loving about it.
Yeah, and I'm also trying to do more, because at first I was just like, I'm going to take anybody that can come on the show, right? And then, like, you have them on the show, and then the episode is just kind of like...
dull.
Yeah, and so then you're sitting there, like, having to ask them questions, and then you're kind of taking over and interjecting, because you can just feel like, this episode is gonna be
yeah, I feel that.
And so I'm trying to be more like get to talk to people a little bit more. Maybe I should have like a phone conversation with them so I can hear their voice, hear how they talk, hear how their like speech is and everything.
Right.
Instead of just being like, oh yeah, come on my show. Like, yeah.
Right. Kind of selling it too early.
Yeah.
Yes. No, and then that's 100% real too, because I had that too. I invited people that I've had conversation with, but I haven't truly conversed with.
Yeah.
So then when they came on the show, it was kind of like, ooh, I didn't know your mindset was like that. You know, great show. You know, all my episodes are great. All my episodes are perfect. You know, because I'm the best podcast host ever. So all my episodes are great. But, you know, some of the shows, it's kind of been like, ooh, I wish I would have realized this person was more like that, and I could have adjusted the conversation to fit their persona a little more. Because some of them, I'm trying to be positive, and they can want to go to the dark side, and it's like, yeah, this is
like, we don't do dark side.
Yeah, this is kind of difficult, so how can I twist it, you know, a little bit?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, ma'am, I truly understand. What about you, bro? The biggest difficulties we have? For me, for sure,
making sure we get
trying to keep constant, trying to keep consistent and keep guests coming.
because you tell yourself, like, you guys every Monday.
Yeah.
I was every Tuesday, and I couldn't commit to every Tuesday, so now I'm every Wednesday.
Yeah, we're trying to stay committed to this every Monday, man, and it's like, you know, it's a lot of times we'll have a phone call. I'll call on my lunch break on a Wednesday. Hey, how you feeling this week? Any ideas? Anything that happened in life that you want to talk about tomorrow? Like, that's literally how our conversation will go. And, you know, I had a piece of chicken that was choking me a little bit. Where's that choke? Okay, let's run with it. And we're just trying to make it happen. So I think that's the biggest difficulty, is trying to stay consistent with the ideas without trying to feel like I'm overlapping.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm kind of overlapping no matter what, because my show is, you know, Just Keep Swimming.
But you have a theme.
I have a theme.
So at least it's consistent with your message and your theme.
Yes. Without trying to be like, oh, I did this last week. So that's some of my biggest difficulties.
I mean, I would probably say the same in that regard, because once we sit down and do it, it's just...
once you jump into it, it just flows, once the guest shows up, we get the conversation started, I see a vibe for the day, what are we talking about, you know, shoot, sometimes I'll switch the whole episode up based off of the conversation we had pre-episode.
Dude, CJ's is still bomb.
Yeah, CJ's episode. Go check out Real Talk with CJ.
I think so,
Yeah, Real Talk with CJ.
I'll have to listen to it.
I had a whole episode planned for him because he does car work and everything.
Yeah.
And then he came in and talked. And we talked for like an hour before we even started the show.
Yeah.
And we low-key just kind of we did the deep breathing, but we kind of just pressed record and kept going where we were going and just let the conversation keep rolling. That's my first like true just let it flow conversation.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't try to come back and dip a dabble. Nah.
That was a great executive decision.
Yeah, it was. So I love it. And then the biggest rewards you have received from your podcast. What are some of the biggest benefits that podcasting has brought to you?
Oh, yeah. So the first podcast I talked about that I had, Anxious Antics, one of my guests, she did an episode on an eating disorder that she had. And somebody that she knows texted her and was like, hey, like, I listened to your episode and I think, you know, I might really actually have a problem. I need to talk to somebody. I need to go to the doctor or something. Like, thank you for putting that out there, because I felt alone.
Right.
And just knowing that I helped someone, just one person, is huge.
Right.
So huge. And also just like growing and networking and meeting new people and just having different perspectives and just learning. Like, I love connecting with people.
Right.
And is that in itself is just like rewarding for me. And I think you had said something earlier, like why you podcast, like you said accounting wasn't for you. I feel like our generation, maybe just society in general, or the times we live in, we place so much emphasis on our career. Like, you're going to go to school for 12 years and you're going to go to college, you're going to go into a fucking shit ton of debt, and then you're going to work a job from the very, very bottom, making pennies, working your ass off, and hating life. I was like, it clicked in my mind. I was like, there's got to be something more to this.
It has to be another route.
And maybe my job is just literally where I go 40 hours a week and I get a paycheck. But I need to find something else to fulfill myself.
A passion.
Yes.
I feel it.
And so podcasting gives me that drive, that like I'm fucking glad and lucky to be alive feeling, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that one thing. And yeah, sometimes it's hard, and yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh God, I don't want to record tonight, I'm tired, work sucks, my dog's sick, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, like, once you get rolling, like you said, and you get that episode out and you push publish and it right up to the interwebs, like, it just feels so good.
Yes. No, I fully agree, Ray.
Yeah.
And I want to 100% touch on that because I feel the same way. Like today, prime example, I took a nap, woke up at 4:30. I scheduled the room for 4:30. I'm waking up at 4:30. You know, everybody beat me here. Usually I'm the first one here. Everybody beat me here today. My co-host beat me. My guest beat me. Her son beat me. Like, everybody beat me here today. But, you know, at the end of the day, it was like,
we're here.
Yeah, we're here, and you know what? We're still about to put a show together, and I think another tool I did to jump on that is the idea that this is my baby. You know what I'm saying? This is ours. Like, can't nobody take this away from us. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, the only thing that can happen right now to take this away from us is the government going into and locking up our breastplate account and coming to arrest me or some shit. And I will still make it happen in jail, because that's how pops I am.
I was gonna say, they're gonna have to kill us.
Yeah, but, you know, but like...
That's for you, CIA.
You know, this is mine, though. Like, this is mine, though. The job can fire me. The job can let me go, you know? But me sending out this positive message, like I said, having that true passion, that feeling of, oh, man, I probably helped somebody today, or somebody may have learned something, really does help. And, like, you know, the random text messages we get sometimes.
I was going to mention the 2 messages I got from, like, my friends. And, like, yeah, honestly, I was going through a really, really tough time, but, like, listening to you guys, like, release every week.
They like it,
it was just like, that's what kept me going, and that's why I'm here today. And it's like, wow.
Right.
Or I'll talk to some of my friends when I go to the rave, and it's like, yeah, bro, I'm still listening to the podcast. Like, that's dope. Keep doing it. I'm like, okay, thanks. Like, I didn't know y'all really actively listening.
Or my barber, you know, my barber will come in, or like how your boy said he go to our barber. My barber told me multiple times, oh yeah, a lot of people come in here and mention your podcast.
Yeah.
And we give me a deal. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
it's like,
awesome.
It's cool to see that I have professionals that are honoring the deals that I've made with them and stuff, because I'm bringing them business. I'm helping other people grow.
Community.
Yes, exactly.
This is community building in the first place, to piggyback off of making the connections with people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially, well, in terms of my side too, it's like, I like connecting with people, but I feel like I have like social anxiety as well. So it's like I'm always trying to like read their vibe and make sure like
I'm on the right, I'm stepping on the right foots and stuff.
But I mean, doing this, it makes me a lot more open and easier to do it. Like, I may still feel that level of anxiety inside, but I'm able to push past it more easily, just because I've been practicing it so long.
Yes, exactly. And it got me connecting with people that I thought I'd never connect with.
Exactly.
You know,
that
like,
too.
I have guests on here of people that, like I said, like you, I only seen them passing by. We converse, but we never like truly talk, you know, deep life level. I know your blood type, you know, but we'll come and talk about our story. Next thing you know, I relate now. We have a deeper connection. We learn something about each other. And on top of that, we probably help somebody in the world today. Yeah. So it's like we're hitting like 3 benefits every time we do this.
We help promote each other.
Yeah.
You
know,
for real.
I love it, man. I love it. So you already know you're on the Just Keep Swimming podcast, and we ask every guest that attends the Just Keep Swimming podcast, where are they still swimming to? So I was wondering, where are you still swimming to?
I'm swimming to my highest self. And what that means to me is just never quit, never give up. And I just want to take all the tragedies that happened to me and don't let them get me down, and just be the best person I can be for myself, for my kids, for my family, you know?
Amen.
And just teach them that, like, I can't shield him from the world, right? And it sucks and it's scary to think about. And at least I can be there for him and be in a mindset where when he's older, or even right now, if he were to come to me with something that he needed to talk to me about, like, I could be in the right frame of mind to guide him or listen to him. I may not be able to take his pain away.
Right.
But at least he knows in his heart
he got support,
that I'm there for him.
Right. Yes, I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, that's top, man. You want to give your mama a hug, bro? I think she needs a hug, man.
They now make a loving embrace.
Yes. That was beautiful right there.
I love you.
white and black shirt meets red and white shirt.
Right. Yes, I love it. Yeah, big shout out to Jade and the Sun joining us today. And very, very last question. You already know what this question is. Do you have a quote you can possibly leave with us today?
Oh, a quote.
Yo. Oh, come on. You listen to all our episodes. You know who's going to have a quote?
Right.
I just do.
No.
Quotes are something that I usually look up on Google. So I can't quote it word for word. I probably can't even pronounce it correctly. I don't even remember the guy's name that wrote this, but it's like the Desiderata. Is that how you say it? Can we look it up real quick?
Yeah, no problem.
Can I read it?
Yes, please.
Because it's beautiful. My mom had this on she had it printed out in like a script, and it was framed and hung in our bathroom when I was a kid. And this is before cell phones, when you could just be playing Candy Crush when you're pooping, you know?
Right.
So
you had no choice, read the magazine.
And even as a kid, like, this just really resonated with me. So I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm trying to pull it up.
I don't know how to spell it.
So I'll read it for the listeners, because there's a lot there and it's a lot to unpack, but everyone is gonna get their own, like,
takeaway from it.
Takeaway, yeah. So it says, go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It's a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery, but let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nature, strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its shame, drudgery, and broken dreams, it's still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. By Max E. Herm, and then it says circa 1927.
Beautiful.
And I just feel like
Can you spell that? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I live my life like that.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is, you're a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And the universe is unfolding as it should. So whenever I have like a hard time, I just have to remind myself, the universe is unfolding as it should.
Yes.
And so that whole poem just really
resonated.
Yeah, I'll text it to you.
Yes, please. Can you spell it out loud for everybody?
D-E-S. Oh, jeez. D-E-S-I-D-E-R-A-T-A.
Seradata. D-E-S-I-D-E-R-A-T-A.
Yeah.
Got you.
And so that was what I read in my mom's bathroom when I was a kid, using the bathroom. And I really live my life by it, and I think it's beautiful.
No, I as you was reading it, I heard like a lot of things that really resonated with me. And I think one of the best things you said in there, which is kind of something that I talked about earlier, you know, I think you said something about be aware of the loud talkers, but listen to everybody because we all have a story too, you know.
And have their story.
Yes, and I always take that as everybody can always teach you something, you know, and I always believe that everybody can teach me something because I don't know everything at all. I'm nowhere near knowing everything, you know. So, yes, beautiful, Rae. I appreciate it. How you feeling? You feeling all right? You enjoyed the episode?
I don't know why I got so emotional in this episode.
I was about to say. Yeah, it was a real episode, man. I want to say I appreciate you being so transparent and really showing you did the true definition of integrity, you know. Yeah. You really showed your heart today. So I just want to say I truly appreciate you. You want to take a second and shout out your podcast, where they can find you at, and the IG, so everybody can follow you?
Yeah, so Highly Healing Podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, and Anchor. I don't have a Instagram solely dedicated to the podcast because I already got a lot of stuff going on my socials, so I just keep it all on the same. You can find me on IG. My tag is at Canna Del Rey, so that's CANNA_Del DEL_Ray, and that's RAE. I'm on TikTok as well, same username. And then Highly Healing has a website. It's located in our show notes. I don't have the exact domain yet. It's like a Wix site.
Understandable.
But it just shows like who we are, what it's about, a sample of the episode, and then there's links to all the Spotify, Amazon, all that stuff to listen to the show.
Got you. Yeah, so please make sure you guys add Rae on IG as well as TikTok, and make sure you follow the podcast on Spotify, correct?
Yeah, and if anybody wants to be on the show, I do have a Gmail. It's highlyhealing@gmail.com.
Highlyhealing@gmail.com. So please make sure to reach out to Rae, share your story. She's an amazing host. Like I said, I was on her show beforehand, and I had to bring her back and get her on my show. So, Rae, I just want to say we appreciate you so much. You really showed your heart
so
today.
Much.
Showed your spirit, beautiful spirit. Jay, we appreciate you for joining us as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? You did a great job being over there nice and quiet, listening. Hope you learned something about your mom today. You know, hope that really helped you guys. Good. Don't make too much fun of her. Bro, I appreciate you for another great episode, man. That was fire as always. Best episode yet.
Yes, sir.
You know, but the next one's probably the best one to come. So we still got a lot to look forward to. Everybody out there listening, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. You guys learned something today. Please make sure to follow Rae, her IG, as well as her podcast. If you guys want to be a host, make sure you check it out. Also, this episode is sponsored by Blended Faces. Blended Faces on IG. Make sure you check out Rae. Yes, please do.
I'm looking for bridal makeup.
Oh, yeah. So Marche is amazing. Yeah, she will be the one. You know, she actually offered me one. I need to go and get a male grooming, whatever that is. Once I get one, I'll explain it to you guys.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yes, so please check out Blended Faces on IG. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can send it to our Gmail, jkspodcast702@gmail.com. I hope you guys have a marvelous day, a splendid evening, a blissful afternoon, and remember, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
You guys say just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
There you go. Just keep
Just
swimming.
keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Just keep
Swim.
I can speak well.
Yeah, I can speak well.